Morning, guys. Happy Friday. Lovely to see you all. Let's get going. So, we're going to begin in a comfortable seat. So, crossing at the ankles. Nice. Okay, so sitting nice and tall, grounding down through the sit bones. If you need a little shoulder roll and anything else, just make those little movements before you find stillness. Great. So just settle down. Allow the hands to rest wherever feels comfortable. Sometimes it's nice to have them close to the lap, one on top of the other, out onto the knees, palms up, palms down. All these little decisions really make a difference, and it's just increasing and kind of showing that you're building more awareness of the physical body. You know, we have a tendency to cross our legs the same way. Maybe you've switched it out this morning for a little bit of balance. Maybe you've noticed that you need to elevate your sit bones because your spine feels a little bit rounded. Take your time to adjust and to place your body exactly as you feel it should be. Thinking about your alignment, thinking about what's comfortable, what feels good. We're really trying to build intuition when we practice yoga from home. I'm here to keep you accountable, to guide, but it's really down to you. So as you sit there, knowing that you've showed up for your practice, have a sense of pride, have a sense of intention and purpose to the start of your day. And then ask yourself, how am I today? How am I feeling? This is such an important part of your practice. These little conversations we have, this inner dialogue, we're really trying to stoke. So just listen, observe, notice all that's coming up this morning. Knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. The next half an hour you've set aside is to move and to breathe. I don't know about you, but often when I think about that, I get a real wave of joy and gratitude that you've got this time, that you've got this wonderful body, and you've been strong enough to build that into your day. Half an hour of self-care every day, how wonderful. Doing the work, right? When you feel ready, just start to find your breath. Just noticing at first where you can feel it moving through the body. Again, this sense of spending some time with your breath that just happens all day, every day. You can feel a sense of real awe and, again, gratitude for your breath. Let's take a few together. So nice long exhale whenever you're ready. And then breathe in for a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathe out for 3, 2, 1. Breathing in. 2, 3. Breathing out. 2, 1. Just notice how the breath is moving this morning. Can you really connect to each round and harness it by moving it a little bit more intentionally through the body, trying to send it a little bit deeper, trying to stretch it out a little bit longer. Good. On your next inhale, let's reach the arms up to the sky. Full body stretch. Oh, really enjoy that. So you might interlace the fingers, or you might grab hold of one wrist. Anything that's going to make you just stretch a little bit taller through the spine. And then just a little bit of movement from side to side. Really tiny shifts. It's almost like I'm kind of just moving the rib cage from side to side, leaning and moving the arms ever so slightly. Getting into the side body this morning. So just moving first of all. And then as you go through these, maybe you're getting a little bit more exaggerated with the movement. So we're just going a little bit deeper with the swish of the rib cage, or the sway of the rib cage, maybe is better. Good. Maybe the hands are coming a little bit more to one side and then the other. Good. And then next time you're over to the left, let's stay there and just go to your deepest. Keep the arms in the air just for a moment. You might even pull on that right wrist. And we're growing tall, so we're still reaching up as well as going to the side. You're trying to really create space from your right hip to your right armpit. Really plug down that right sit bone. Avoid crunching here. Good. And then when you feel okay, just float the left fingertips down and walk them out as far as you can. But again, we don't want to kind of collapse here. We don't want to rock forward. We don't want to lean back too much. We're really just trying to take that top hand over to the side of the room. That bottom elbow can come down a little bit closer to the floor. Really plug that right sit bone down. If you feel any tweaks, any like twinges, you've probably just compressed a little bit too much, so ease off. Check in with the breath. Sometimes it gets sticky when we go into a deep side stretch. For 3, for 2. Good. On 1, that top hand is going to float down to the left knee. Your left hand is going to sit behind you as you just gently twist over to the left. If the hand's far away from the floor behind you, just take it to a brick. Each inhale, grow a little bit taller. Each exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Good. From here, you're going to lean forward. So that right shoulder is going to dip forward. The back hand is going to reach up and over. So we're now kind of feeling this through the other side of the body. So we should be feeling a stretch from the left hip to the left rib cage, really feeling this in the waist, hopefully. That little lean forward of the shoulder, that big reach of the backhand. Breathing for 3, really creating space for 2. Good, on 1, come back to center, cross the arms, either catch the shoulders or you can come to eagle arms and just do a few seated cat-cows. So it's just lifting the elbows up and then drawing them down to the navel. Inhale to lift up, exhale to come down. Inhale up, exhale down. Good, little hug of the shoulders is fine. Might be a bit early for eagle arms, which is where your forearms are kind of in line with one another and your hands are working towards prayer. Good, back to center. Spread the arms wide, take a cactus shape, puff out the chest. You can keep the arms here, or if it feels a bit nicer, you can press them into the low back. Really pull the shoulders and elbows behind you and lift the chin. I don't mind, whatever feels good for you this morning. If the arms need a little rest down, just press hands into low back. Good, and then do the opposite. Draw the navel in, pull the shoulders forward, drop the chin to the chest, and round the upper back. So we're hollowing out the chest now. You probably rocked back on the sit bones a little bit as well. Great, and then come back to neutral, roll the shoulders, and take another reach up. Good, okay, so back to those little side movements again. So a little bit deeper maybe now. On one side should feel different to the other. We've stretched them in 2 different ways. So let's even that out. When you feel ready, pause and hold. This time over to the right. Really plugging left sit bone down. Really reaching up and then over. Maybe just close the eyes, check in with the breath. Go a little bit further, reaching up and over. And then when you feel ready, that right hand can come down and you're walking it out as far as you can and reaching that top hand up and over to the wall. Keeping the spine neutral. Remember, we're not rocking forwards, we're not overarching back. See if you can breathe into the left rib cage. Good, and then that hand is going to reach down. Right hand goes behind. Take an inhale to lengthen and an exhale to twist. Lovely. Good, stay here just for a couple more breaths. Remembering what you know, sitting tall on the inhale, twisting on the exhale. Good, and then dip that left shoulder forward, reach that back hand towards the front. The more you really pull on that knee and really reach that top hand, the more you'll feel this lovely side stretch. Keep your right sit bone plugged down. How's the breath? Awesome, and then when you're ready, crossing the elbows again, shoulders or eagle arms the other way. And again, just a few seated cat-cows. Elbows up and elbows down. Rocking forward on the sit bones and rocking back. Good. Okay, let's release. This time, just a few shoulder rolls and we'll come to tabletop. So coming forward onto hands and knees. And now getting a little bit more into your cat-cows, okay? So once you've got your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, let's go a little bit deeper into those, yeah? So really dipping the belly, puffing out the chest, lifting the tailbone, really pushing through the earth, drawing the navel in, chin to chest. And then maybe some little swishes from side to side, again, getting into the side body. So one shoulder comes forward, One shoulder comes back and the hips will just naturally sway. Nice. And then walk the hands forward a little bit more and just start to send the hips to the wrists. Pull the rib cage through. Tuck the toes, send the hips back. Good. Hips to the wrists. Pull the rib cage through. Send the sit bones back. Nice. If you remember last week we did these little kind of waves from down dog to up dog. This is like option 1, yeah? So we want to bring the hips to the wrists. That's the most important cue here. And then roll the shoulders and pull the rib cage through. Lift the chin. We don't want to feel any pinching in the low back. So if you have felt a little pinch there, you probably need to extend or lengthen the stance and focus on switching on the lower body. So drawing up the thighs, switching on the glutes, and focus on pulling the rib cage through and lengthening through the crown of the head. Good. So just take a few of those until you feel comfortable with that movement. If it doesn't feel comfortable, go back to your cat-cows. Maybe take a melting heart even, although that's opening the front of the chest. We're really trying to move the spine here. And then when you feel ready, downward facing dog. And again, I want you to move here. So the hips are going to sway from side to side. And it might be that the heels go with the hips. We're trying to really lengthen through the spine. So think about the crown of the head drawing down and think about the tailbone lifting up. Don't worry about anything else. Just focus on the spine. Maybe even close your eyes and picture your spine and what it's doing this morning. Okay, so from here, you might want to shorten your stance. That's fine. So the heels come down a little bit more and the hands feel a little bit closer to the feet. And you're just going to tap alternate ankles. So left fingertips, tap right ankle, right fingertips, tap left. And then if that feels okay and that movement is not kind of pinching the shoulders, not aggravating anything, you can hold, yeah? So just grab hold of the ankle, keep pushing through the feet evenly, keep pressing through the one hand, and it's like you're taking a little peek underneath your armpit. And just hold for a little bit longer, maybe about 3 breaths on each side. You might feel this through the backs of the legs, so just soften the knees because we want to really feel this movement in the spine. So the hips are level and we're having a gentle twist and opening underneath our arms. Good. If you want to take a couple more, you can. Again, just getting back into that flow. Nice. And then when you feel ready, step the right foot forward. Drop the back heel down, windmill up into warrior 2. Good. Maybe take a couple of flying warriors just to get into that front leg. And then we're coming into Trikonasana. So legs are going to be straight, arms can float up. And then reach the arms out so the fingertips are in line with the shoulders. And we've got about 1 leg distance between the heels, so we're not too long with this one. And you're going to reach your right arm forward and you're going to bring your right hand down towards your right ankle. Now, this top hand can reach up, but most importantly, it's about the chest being open. It's almost like we're leaning against an imaginary wall. Oops, I nearly slipped then. So you don't want to, if you look at my positioning now, you don't want to be here, yeah? You want to be almost as if you're stuck between like some double glazing or something, yeah? So you're leaning back, you're spinning the chest, and then you're feeling a really lovely side stretch from your hip to your armpit. Switch on the legs, draw in the navel. If you want, you can look up to the top hand. Trikonasana, side stretching through the left for 3. has the breath. For 2. Nice, on 1. Come back into warrior 2. We're going to side stretch through the right now. So flip and reach the front palm forward, scoop it back, and enjoy your peaceful warrior. So this is a side stretch. We're leaning back a little, again, against that imaginary wall. So be mindful we're not leaning forward. We're really reaching that right hand behind us to the back foot. Still nice and deep in the legs, nice and strong in the legs. Not too much weight in this back hand. See if you can lift it off. Just gently resting it for 3. For 2. Good, on 1 inhale, come back to center. Good, hands to hips, turn those right toes forward. Little inhale to lengthen and roll the shoulders back. Exhale to forward fold. Okay, so we're just gonna swing here, yeah? Catch the elbows, keep the hips over the heels, the knees can be soft, and just dangle and sway. Trying to get some movement from the waist, yeah? So the hips aren't moving, it's just the rib cage and the upper body. And then if you feel okay here in these sways, we're just gonna walk the fingertips over towards the back foot, so towards your left foot. But they're still out in front, yeah? So they're not too close to the foot. My fingertips are actually off my mat. Good, and then same thing over to the front foot. I would say my fingertips are about 30 centimeters in front of my foot. I'm really still reaching forward as well as over to the side. Head is heavy, hips are level, so I'm really trying to pull my hips back so I can feel that real length through the side body. Just those little tweaks and micro movements. Nice. When you're ready, let's frame that front foot and take a big step back to downward facing dog. Okay, so if you want, you can have a little go at those waves again. So roll forward to high plank, drop the knees, bring the hips to the wrists, pull the rib cage through. Tuck the toes, send the sit bones back and high. Good, now if you feel like comfortable doing those, you can come through to high plank, and without dropping the knees, you can send the hips to the wrists here and almost come into an upward dog. But your toes are still tucked just to help you. You can then drop the knees down and wave back. And it's almost like you round the spine as you go back. So it's a ripple forward to high plank, knees down if you need to, hips to wrists as you pull the rib cage through. Knees might come down, or they might just hover as you round the spine and push back to downward facing dog. Just take 2 more in your own time. Waving the spine as much as you can. And for these movements, I think you need to be quite long. So it doesn't matter if your high plank feels a bit long. It's better that we've got that length in the spine. And use the knees, soften them to just get that wave. Good, okay, when you feel ready, we'll step the left foot forward. I'm just going to go to the other side of my mat, so I'm even. Spin the right heel down, come all the way up. Good, warrior 2. Left foot is forward this time. Good, a couple of flying warriors just to get into that front leg. And then when you're ready, next time you're up, keep the legs nice and straight. You might need to shorten the stance. And then come into your triangle. And remember, you might not lift the hand to begin with. You might just start to get the shoulders stacked, draw up through the thighs. We want this core to be really strong here. Spin the chest, maybe reach the hands. But essentially, we should be able to do this without the hands. Imagine reaching them forward. Everything will switch on. It's a little bit more strength. We're on length today, so we won't do that. Really plug that back heel. Really curl your left hip under, pull your right hip back. Lean against that imaginary wall for 3. For 2. Good, on one, come all the way up, bend into that left knee, scoop, and take your peaceful warrior. So left hand comes up and over, right hand goes down. Relax that top shoulder, reach those top fingertips. Strong in the legs, strong in the core, that's holding you up. We're here for 3. Check in with the breath. It gets sticky when we side stretch for 2. Nice, on 1, come back to center. Extend the left knee, turn on the toes, or turn on the heels, sorry, left toes come forward. Take an inhale to lengthen, and an exhale to come forward. So same thing, walk the fingertips a little bit further this time. So instead of swaying, let's walk the fingertips. See if we can go a little bit further. And then you're pausing in front of your right foot to begin with. And your left hand is going to stay where it is. And your right hand is just going to twist, well, going to be placed on the low back. Just again, a little bit of a side stretch through the left side, and then a little bit of a twist. You can soften into that right knee if you need to. Good, and then same thing other side. So walk to your front foot, your left foot. Go a little bit further. And when you reach that left hand to the low back, you'll feel if your hips are skew with. Just by leveling the hips, you'll get more of a side stretch. You might even be able to find the waist by hugging the hand around. Good, for 3, for 2. Lovely, on 1, back to center. And then just walk the hands round back to frame the left foot. And just another opportunity to move the spine. So you might just want to come back to some cat-cows, yeah? You might want to come down to those sways forwards and backwards, and just notice when I'm doing that from all 4s, my hips and knees aren't quite stacked, and my shoulders and wrists aren't quite stacked. I'm a bit longer in that stance, yeah? Same when we're in our high plank, if we're doing those waves. It's a little bit of a longer high plank, just to get that space for these waves. And it's a bit about mobility, really, but then it's also some strength for these, yeah? Especially that push back. Good, they can feel really nice. Whatever version you're doing. Great, and then just to finish, we'll come all the way down to the belly. And we'll just take either a sphinx, or you can lift up and go a little bit higher if you want into seal. So remember what you know. Super strong through the lower body. Draw the navel in, press the tops of the feet down. I like to have my hands quite wide for this. And for Sphinx, you're pulling yourself along the floor. Your forearms are really connected. You're pulling your rib cage through. If you're taking it a little bit deeper into seal, same thing, but it's just the hands are pulling you through. Your upper arms, your shoulders are trying to wrap around your rib cage or squeeze into your midline. We're here for 3. We're here for 2. Good, on 1, release down. Let it go, forehead to hands, little rock of the hips. Nice, guys. Okay, brief child's pose. So just tuck the toes, push back, have the knees together and just allow the spine to round. Maybe create a little pillow with your fists, or if the head can reach the floor, that's cool. A little pillow if you need. Hands beside feet, just 5 breaths here. Really breathing into the whole of the torso.
And you'll feel the back expand, you'll feel the belly press on the thighs. Just connecting back to our breath with a sense of gratitude. Good. Hands beside knees, roll yourself up.
Good. Hopefully the spine feels a little bit more mobile. Well done, guys. Really nice to see you. Hope you have a wonderful Friday. Let's just lower the chin to the chest. A little bow down of the head, sign of gratitude for this time we've shared, for our Fridays and all that they may bring us. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for joining me. Well done.
Thank you, Vicky. That was great.
Oh, you're welcome, Sophia. Yeah, the spine one's nice.
Yeah, the best.
Good. Bye, Eva. Thanks, Flora.
Bye.
Thanks, Alice. Bye, Rowena.